How's it going, everyone? My name is Ricky Senpai, and welcome to the very first installment of Ricky's Gaming Journal. This gaming journal was set out to document my feelings and the way I feel about certain games I play. I'm going to put this into a certain kind of series and a couple of episodes where I dive into the game and try and finish it, and also, but to give you guys more a in-depth look and to give you guys my thoughts on the certain aspects of the game. A lot of games out there, especially reviews, and that kind of have a broader sense, a broader overlook on the entire game, but I aim to just give, my perspective on the game, but like per episode, to kind of go in depth and kind of, tell you guys the things that I like, the things that I didn't like, because I kind of feel like it's almost in a sense when it comes to reviewing a game, but also kind of diving into a game. You get reviews, but you don't really get like a journal experience where you really get people engaged in your adventure. The cool thing about this, well, I think the tough thing about this for me is that I live a very busy lifestyle. So the challenging thing will be getting through the series, but it will make me more invested in the games I play. So I only hope and I only wish that when you guys come along on this adventure, that you guys enjoy watching and you guys enjoy this kind of new take on gaming journal media, if that makes any sense. So yeah, Octopath Traveler, episode number 1, let's go. From the opening title screen, the menu OST evoked a thirst for adventure right off the bat. I knew in my mind that I would be in for a ride, considering I kind of knew what the premise was, due to some early research when I was picking a game to begin my journal series on. You were given a choice out of 8 characters to choose from, and that choice was easy for me. I chose the stoic and gallant warrior Olberic The Unbending Blade. I have a thing for choosing heroic characters, and it may be due to my love of the European medieval times, so Olberic was an easy choice. I really love the voice acting for Olberic, especially during his opening story sequences. He is voiced by the talented Patrick Saades, who has voiced some of my favorite characters in anime, most notably Dio from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. That sense of familiarity in his voice made me love the character Olberic much more. The opening scenes felt like an episode from my favorite show, Game of Thrones. Olberic was a knight of a lost kingdom betrayed by a comrade who killed your liege lord, which led to him being a sellsword. Typical premise for a classic medieval drama, but I felt right at home with the plot. You eventually end up in a town called Cobblestone under the alias Berg to hide your true identity, where you become its protector. The story kicks off as you train the fellow townspeople how to fight and defend themselves. A young warrior apprentice gets kidnapped by a bunch of bandits, which leads you to a cave to save him. You come across the bandits and their leader, who you fight and defeat, saving Philip the apprentice. Story twist, you find out that Gaston, the bandit leader, wields the sword that once belonged to Earnhardt, the comrade who betrayed you. So you set off on a journey to find reason as to why you swing your sword. Olberic's story captivated me because of its multi-layered sequences that tie your past to the present. His search for why he swings his sword and his deep sense of justice was enough to hook me. Even though the game heavily relies on its speech bubble interactions and voice acting, for some reason it made my curiosity more intimate as I read each speech bubble with nervous excitement due to the way Olberic would voice his concern. The situation at times is left to your imagination to concoct what a real-life interaction would look like, and I love it. I cannot help but compare this game to Game of Thrones. Its similarity to the politics of the hit show made me love the game even more, and it's only been 2 hours into the game. I thought to myself that if Octopath Traveler could capture the formula what made Game of Thrones so great, this game could be a gem that could capture the imagination of people who love deep storytelling and plot building. Moving on through, I reached the Sunshade Desert, and instantly the OST changed to reflect the mood of the environment. Small attention to details will always be noticed by those who are fully invested in the game like myself. The XP bar and the way you view your stats make it very easy to understand the progression of your chosen character. This ties into the way the menu categorizes the different channels that pertain to your inventory, which makes everything easier to navigate. It's like the menu has a sense of coziness similar to a Stardew Valley playthrough. The help prompts that pop up on your screen from time to time aren't invasive, but it pops up at the most convenient time, which is another attention to detail that I noticed. I then meet a secondary character by the name of Primrose, who I recruit to join me on my travels, so the focus is immediately shifted from Olberic to Primrose. We are then taken on a brief trip into the past life of Primrose, which is a tragic one. She is the daughter of a highborn family of aristocrats, but loses her status as her father is murdered in cold blood in front of a very young Primrose. She then makes it her sole mission to take revenge on those who killed her father. So she commits to a life of a dancer in a very desolate city, till the time comes for her exact revenge. Her current employer goes by the name Halganish and is an evil and putrid man who uses Primrose for monetary gain, while being abusive and treating her in a disgusting manner. This made my blood boil, as Halganish was voiced so perfectly that he was easy to hate. Top marks for the theatrics. It felt as authentic as a live stage play. As the story unfolds, Primrose, with the help of Olberic, fights Halganish and his goons. It was relatively challenging and made you mindful of what items to use due to the turn-based style of the fights. But I felt satisfied with the difficulty of the challenge. But at the same time, my hatred of Halganish kept my nerves firing as I thought to save Primrose. At this point I felt like a knight, but that is the beauty of a great storytelling in this game. It evoked the right emotions in me, which is a credit to the plot. We defeat Halganish, and from that moment the two set off on a journey to find answers for the questions they have. That is the end of Journal Entry Chapter 1. Tune into the second episode as we continue to collate our thoughts on the game Octopath Traveler. Until then, my friends, stay classy.